Great Wall of China, the Forbidden City, the Imperial Palace. Usually, they'd be bustling with tourists. But since it lifted its ultra-strict COVID-19 policies, China's tourism industry has not recovered. International tourist arrivals plunged 70% from 2019 levels in the first half of this year. And even domestic tourism hasn't returned to pre-pandemic levels. Before 2020, overseas tourists spent more than $130 billion in the country, representing 5% of exports and 0.5% of retail sales. According to the China Tourism Academy, the fall in tourism over the last 3 years has cost China more than $360 billion. Now Beijing is taking steps to prop up the sector. On Friday, the Foreign Ministry announced it's waiving visa requirements for travelers from 6 countries.
China has decided to expand the scope of unilateral visa-free countries on a trial basis. Ordinary passport holders from 6 countries, namely France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, Malaysia, do not need visas. From December 1, 2023 to November 30, 2024, ordinary passport holders from the above countries who come to China for business, tourism, visiting relatives and friends, and transit for no more than 15 days can enter China without a visa.
It's also expanded a list of 54 nations whose passport holders can transit visa-free for up to 6 days. And prior to that, it simplified visa application procedures and scrapped a mandatory health declaration.
I think this visa-free policy is really a breakthrough in Chinese policy towards others. I also think it's sending out 2 strong signals. One is political, the other is economic. The political signal is that China really commit itself to opening up rather than closing down. So China welcomes foreign tourists to come to China. The economic signal is also very clear that with more people coming to China, they will spend more, they will probably travel to China more. So in that case, China can increase its export of services to these countries.
Beyond the new visa-free schemes, China is also investing in technology, travel guides, and e-payment schemes. China officially ended its zero-COVID policies in March, and after a strong start to the year, its economy has fallen sharply. A depressed housing market, skyrocketing youth unemployment, and deflation fears have added to its slowdown. Foreign direct investment has dropped 9.4% year-on-year in the first 10 months of 2023. And while manufacturing contracts, exports slump, and a property sector crisis deepens, growth is stalling.
There are some green shoots in certain sub-indexes that we've seen, high-tech sort of sectors as well doing quite well. So it's not entirely bad news, but it's certainly just indicative of the sort of tough kind of reopening that we've seen in China. It's not been quite as positive as we would have hoped, but there are signs that things can pick up.
Data suggests that inbound tourism is accelerating. Bookings on travel agency Trip.com grew by 125% in the first 10 months of this year, reaching nearly 80% of 2019's volume. And flights into the country are increasing as it opens its doors to the outside world. Tayyibe Aydin, TRT World.